It's 5:47 a.m. in an Australian suburb. Armed officers crouch in position. Flashbangs ready, battering rams raised. In exactly 3 minutes, they'll storm through a family's front door. But Australia isn't acting alone. Across the globe, 9,000 police officers in 16 countries are synchronized for the exact same moment. They're about to execute the largest coordinated sting operation in history. The target? Organized crime's most trusted communication device. A phone that criminals believed was absolutely untraceable. Completely secure. FBI proof. They were catastrophically wrong. Because for 3 years, the FBI was the phone company. Every message, every photo, every murder plot and drug deal captured in real time. 27 million messages, over 800 arrests. And at the center of it all, one man's Hail Mary pitch to the feds. How did the FBI trick the world's most dangerous criminals into carrying government wiretaps in their pockets? 2018, Australia. A man who calls himself AFU has a problem. And an idea. AFU is what you'd call a dodgy businessman. He made his money selling encrypted phones to criminals, phantom secure devices that promised absolute privacy for $2,000 a month. He worked alongside Hawk and Ike, Australia's most notorious drug trafficker, the guy who documented his criminal lifestyle on Facebook like it was a travel blog. But the golden age was ending. Law enforcement had spent years systematically destroying encrypted phone companies. Phantom Secure shut down. Sky ECC infiltrated. EncroChat dismantled. And that created a vacuum. A massive, lucrative vacuum. AFU, being a businessman, saw opportunity. He'd launched the next encrypted phone. Call it ANOM. Modified Google Pixels running custom software. Apps like Netflix and Spotify that didn't actually work, just dummy icons to look normal. The real magic unlocked with a secret calculator code that revealed an encrypted messenger. Perfect for criminals. But here's the twist. The FU reached out to his lawyer, who reached out to the FBI, and made an offer they couldn't refuse. I'll build you the phone. You get total access, a hidden backdoor you can watch from. San Diego, California. Department of Justice. Andrew Young sits across from AFU's mysterious attorney, listening to what sounds like a fever dream. A phone company. For criminals. Run by the FBI. The attorney slides documents across the table. Screenshots of ANOM's interface. Technical specs. AFU has already built a working prototype. He's thought this through. My client, the lawyer says carefully, is offering you something no one has ever offered law enforcement before. Complete visibility into organized crimes communications. In real time. Young's mind races. The FBI has spent decades trying to crack encrypted phones. They've arrested dealers, seized shipments, but the networks always rebuild, always adapt. This is different. This isn't chasing criminals. This is becoming their infrastructure. Young's team realizes they're staring at a once-in-a-generation opportunity. What could be more valuable than controlling the devices criminals use to plan murders? The phones criminals trust with their lives? But there's a massive problem. Without evidence of a crime, spying on phones inside the US is flagrantly illegal. The operation would never get approved by the Justice Department. So the FBI reaches out to Australia instead. The Australian Federal Police are immediately interested. The trap is set. Over the next months, the FU builds his company. He hires coders from around the globe, working remotely, completely unaware their real employer is law enforcement. The backdoor is simple and devastating. When a user sends a message, it's silently copied and redirected to servers controlled by authorities. The users see nothing. Suspect nothing. Now ANOM just needs users. AFU starts handing out phones for free to Australian criminals. Word of mouth spreads. By 2019, ANOM has several hundred users. Demand skyrockets. An AFP officer stares at his screen as the first intercepted message appears. It works. It actually works. But there's a catch. The FBI still can't legally read the messages. They're stuck on the sidelines while Australia watches a goldmine of intelligence. Young needs approval from higher ranks. After months of meetings, he finally gets it, sort of. Running servers on US soil is prohibited. Australia can't legally share intelligence directly, so Young finds a workaround. Lithuania volunteers to host the FBI servers, a legal loophole wrapped in international cooperation. Operation Trojan Shield is born, but how far are they willing to let criminals go before intervening? Stockholm, Sweden. Summer 2020. Maximilian Rivlin, street name Microsoft, has a problem. Every encrypted phone user has the same problem. EncroChat just got destroyed by European authorities. Microsoft is sweating. He runs a meth lab, uses encrypted phones to coordinate everything. And now his lifeline is gone. So he travels to Istanbul, meets Hakan Ike, the Facebook gangster now working to expand ANOM globally. They forge a partnership. Ike supplies the phones. Microsoft becomes Sweden's biggest ANOM distributor. To build trust, Microsoft tells buyers that ANOM's founder is on the run from the FBI. If even the FBI can't crack it, he says, we're all safe. He even sends photos of his Swedish ID card over ANOM to prove legitimacy. The FBI watches every message, every photo, every stupid mistake. By 2021, ANOM has 12,000 users across 100 countries. Messages flow in 45 languages. Drug deals, arms trafficking, murder for hire plots. The FBI is drowning in intelligence. Then one day, an officer reads something chilling. Microsoft is planning to murder a former cafe owner in Stockholm. The man supposedly owes him $800,000. In a group chat, a hitman suggests disguising himself as a delivery driver and shooting the target at his front door. Microsoft loves this plan. The messages get more specific. The hitman sends photos of the target's building. They discuss weapons, timing, escape routes. The FBI agent reading these messages in real time knows exactly what's about to happen. He knows where. He knows when. But here's the nightmare scenario law enforcement faces. If they warn Swedish police and mention ANOM, word will leak. Criminals will panic, ditch their phones. 3 years of intelligence gathering evaporates overnight. Swedish police realize the threat is real. They have no choice. They warn the target, but tell him nothing about how they know. The man goes into hiding. The assassination fails. But here's the problem. They can never mention ANOM as the source. If criminals discover the phones are compromised, the entire operation collapses. Every user disappears. Every ongoing investigation dies. This is the impossible dilemma. How many crimes can law enforcement watch unfold before they have to intervene? How many murders can they prevent without exposing their golden goose? The FBI creates a protocol. Life-threatening situations only. Warn the targets, but never reveal the source. It's a delicate balancing act between justice and intelligence gathering. By mid-2021, the flood of data has become overwhelming. Millions of messages, thousands of users, and Lithuania's court order, the legal foundation for the entire operation, is about to expire. After 3 years, Operation Trojan Shield needs to end. Spectacularly. July 5, 2017. Bangkok, Thailand. A man sits in his villa, eyes on his laptop. Online, he's known only as Alpha02. In reality, he's Alexander Kazes, a 25-year-old Canadian running Alphably, the dark web's largest marketplace. He feels safe in Thailand. He drives a Lamborghini, owns multiple properties, lives like a king. Then he hears a crash outside. A gray Toyota Camry has smashed into his front gate. Fatal mistake. He runs outside, leaving his laptop unlocked. The driver is an undercover agent. Within seconds, officers swarm. Kazes tries to run back inside, possibly to shut down his computer. Too late. He's tackled. Inside, investigators find his laptop still logged into Alphably's servers. All the passwords, all the evidence. $23 million in cryptocurrency. 1 week later, Alexander Kazes is dead. Suicide in custody. The king of the dark web is gone. But that's not our story. June 7, 2021. Global synchronized raids. At exactly 5:47 a.m. Australian time, 9,000 officers strike simultaneously. But this isn't just one country. This is a coordinated assault across 3 continents. In Australia, families are ripped from sleep by flashbangs and battering rams. In Germany, armed commandos storm luxury apartments. In Sweden, Microsoft wakes up to tactical units surrounding his property. In the Netherlands, warehouses are raided. drug labs dismantled, homes raided, evidence seized, criminals dragged from their beds, phones in evidence bags. Many are still in their underwear, still confused, still believing their phones were secure. One Australian dealer stares at the officers tearing apart his home and asks, genuinely confused, "How did you find me?" "I used ANOM. It's supposed to be untraceable." The officer just smiles. "We'll explain at the station." Across Europe, Asia, and Australia, the same scene repeats. Shock, disbelief, terror. These criminals spent years trusting ANOM with their lives, their networks, their secrets, and it was all a lie. Within hours, the FBI holds a press conference. They reveal the impossible truth. For 3 years, the FBI developed and operated its own encrypted device company called ANOM. The room explodes. Journalists scramble. The news spreads worldwide. Operation Trojan Shield results in over 800 arrests. Tons of drugs seized. Criminal networks shattered. Entire organizations cease to exist from one minute to the next. It's the biggest sting operation in history. The ultimate triumph. Or is it? The problem nobody saw coming. Hundreds of criminals arrested. Mountains of evidence. But experts are growing skeptical. Will ANOM chats actually hold up in court? A German court sets a precedent. They rule ANOM messages cannot be used as evidence. The chats can't be physically linked to suspects. Free drug traffickers walk free. In Australia, major trials are delayed. Courts grapple with whether data from the back door is legally admissible. If courts worldwide reject the evidence, hundreds of cases collapse. Criminals caught red-handed could walk free despite obvious guilt. Andrew Young's brilliant operation might become a catastrophic failure. And there's another dilemma, one that affects all of us. Privacy. Operation Trojan Shield proved something terrifying. Law enforcement can create the very tools we use to communicate. They can watch everything in real time, and we'd never know. Think about it. Every app on your phone right now. How do you know who really built it? Who controls the servers? Who sees your messages? Today, almost every messenger is end-to-end encrypted. Privacy isn't just for criminals. Journalists need it to protect sources. Activists need it to organize protests. Dissidents in authoritarian regimes need it to stay alive. Encryption concerns all of us. You might say, I have nothing to hide. But what if you lived in a totalitarian state instead of a democracy? Would that stance still hold? The FBI created the ultimate Trojan horse. They penetrated organized crime at an unprecedented scale, but they also set a precedent, a blueprint. If authorities can build compromised phones and convince criminals to use them, what stops them from doing the same to everyone else? 27 million messages collected. Some prevented murders, some documented crimes, and some, according to Joseph Cox's reporting, captured murders that authorities watched happen in real time and did nothing to stop. Was it worth it? The debate continues in courtrooms worldwide. The legal battles will drag on for years. The ethical questions have no easy answers. One thing's certain, the game has changed forever.